The short ball is the ball that we all work for whenever we're playing any type of competitive tennis match. We always hit big shots, angles, aggressive shots, and the goal is to get that ball that we look to put away and finish the point. The problem is most of us don't know how to effectively use that shot, and most of us actually end up either hurting our position or just flat out missing the shot. So in this video, I'm going to be helping everybody with a couple of key points that'll help you handle that ball, figure out where it should go, what type of shot, and hopefully get more points on your side. Welcome back to the channel, and let's get started with today's video. So the first thing that we have to cover when we talk about short balls is, what is our goal? Are we looking to finish the point, or are we looking to move closer to the net? The reason why you want to make that decision first is that's going to directly determine what type of shots and your targets. When you are looking to approach the net, you're actually going to be looking to put pressure on your opponent while also giving yourself time. That will give you the ability to get in the person's face and cut off certain angles that make it so that they cannot pass you. And then if we're looking to put balls away, we're going to be looking to put pressure on the other side again, but our targets may change, our targets may get smaller, and the pace of our ball is actually going to increase. Usually, you may end up still having to put away or move toward the net when you go for the short ball put away, but it's just going to dictate what your original shot is. If the ball comes back as a floater, obviously you want to put it away and be done with the point, but that is not the goal as you're striking the ball. So moving to a different angle, here's how we want to evaluate which one we're looking at. So if I was in this position or to the immediate left or right and I got a short ball, what's going to determine my goal of winning the point or approaching the net is going to be where my opponent is located. If Emily, who's right now standing in the middle, was off to one side, more often than not, you're going to take your short ball and you're going to go to the open side of the court. Now, if I'm taking that ball from the middle, or if I'm taking that ball from my immediate side of the forehand side of the court, and I go that way, this is going to be an attempt to win the point. The reason why is we don't usually want to approach the net cross court. As I said, when you think about it as an approach shot, you're actually going to hit slower options to give yourself time to get in. Now, if I was to hit a heavy ball, Emily's going to have time to probably track that ball down. Likewise, if I was to hit a slice, that ball is going to be slower. And as a result, I have a lot of court that I have to make up and cover, whereas I'm giving her time to potentially line up her passing shot. So whenever my opponent is on the same side as where my approach shot should go, we're going to go from approach mode to winner mode. Because if we hit our approach shot, we want to hit our approach shots down the line. That allows me, I'm just going to give Emily the ball. As I hit that ball to her, I cover most of the angles within one or two steps. And if I was to hit that same type of shot over to that side, you can run this one down. If I was to hit that same type of shot over to that side, there's a lot of space that I'm not going to be able to make up in time as an approaching ball. But if I was to have that ball sit up here and then I go for the bigger one, I don't want her to touch it. I don't want her to get it. So my mentality is that she doesn't get a chance. So when we look at that type of shot, we're going to be looking at flat balls that go through the court, or we're going to be looking at taking the ball at a sharp angle when we go heavy, essentially meaning that the ball's too far for her to be able to catch up to. That ball's a little slower, but it also adds 2 or 3 steps to her journey, which means that she won't be able to reach it. So the second thing that's going to dictate which type of shot we're going to go to is going to be not how close we are in the court, but how high the ball is upon arrival. The lower the ball is, the more the net is an obstacle, so the more we're going to have to lift that shot up, in which case it usually turns into an approach shot. If we can arrive with the ball sitting higher than the net, then that gives us options on what our shots should be. Heavy balls are going to be struck from low because we're going to have to get the ball up and down quickly in a shorter court, whereas we can go flatter or rally or slice. We'll have more options once the ball sits up here. So if you're going to do a drill to practice this, which I'm going to have Emily feed a couple of balls to me, I'm literally just going to be trying to discern what my options are depending on my arrival. Higher balls have more options, lower balls have less. You can slice and hit heavy from low. You can do all 4 from up high. Remember, our 4 shots are rally, flat, heavy, and slice. And then at that point, it's going to be determined by where your opponent is and what your outcome is that you're looking for. So taking this into a drill format, Emily's just going to feed me a bunch of short balls, and I'm going to call out what my options are as I get there, and I'm just going to pick one. So if I get there and the ball's low, slice or heavy. If I get there and the ball's high enough, I'm going to go any one of the 4 choices. For now, because Emily's sitting on that side, I'll take all my targets over there. And remember, depending on where the ball and where your opponent would be, that will determine what level of aggression you're going to be looking for. Heavy. Flat. Slice. Heavy. Slice. So shifting it into a live example now, me and Emily are going to do a rally and just give each other short balls on purpose. Now, because of the fact that Emily has a different challenge than I do when it comes to short balls, we're going to break this into 2 different drills at the same time. Every time I give Emily a short ball, she's going to decide whether she's trying to win or whether she's trying to approach. So she's just going to say one of those 2 words, winner or approach. For me, I'm going to actually call out which type of shot I'm going to use. Do I want to slice it, hit heavy, flat, or rally? So then you'll see 2 different variations of the literal same exercise. But some people get confused in the situation, should they be trying to win or not, or what their options are. So let's get started with this little last example, and then you guys can move it around to fit your own needs. So we would just be in this neutral rally. There's not really any pressure going on right now. And I'll just throw that one in.
Approach.
Now, she didn't make the approach shot, but that's 100% an approach shot situation. That ball was below the net. She was on the full run. No real chance to try to win the point from there. And I know some of you would still try to go for a winner there. Win. Not really a short ball, but a defensive ball, so I try and go for the win.
Approach.
Yeah? You can hear the confusion in the voice.
Yeah.
Here we go. So I have to call my shot. Heavy. Now the reason why I went heavy was because my target was so small. I wanted to try and get her off the court. If I went flat through the court, it would have been easier for her to reach. So I went with the heavy option to give myself time to get closer.
Rally.
Nice.
Now I said the wrong thing.
That happens. That's okay. The whole point is we could do either one, whatever we decide to focus on.
Yeah. Winner.
Great shot. Now that last point was a perfect example because Emily said she wanted to go for a winner, which she clearly tried to do. I barely got my racket on it and I threw one last shot into the court. She was there with an easy cleanup. She didn't just attempt the winner and assume the point was over, which is why the last shot wasn't that stressful. Whereas, as I said, some people would go for the winner and be surprised when the ball gets back and they're in a terrible position. That didn't happen to her. But that's going to wrap up today's video, guys. I hope it was helpful. As I said, you want to make sure you pick your shot type and also pick whether you should be trying to win or whether you should be trying to approach. If you're trying to win, then we can use those big openings on the court. We can go off the court because the coverage isn't really the first thing that's in our head. But when we're going for the approach shot, we have to pick conventional targets most of the time so that the cleanup volley is easy. only time we're going to go against the grain with these targets are when your partner or your opponent is really camping on one side, and that's going to be the exception to the rule, but not the rule. A lot of times people try to go for winners from bad positions, or they try to play neutral or safe when they could easily be done with a point, and that's a big mistake and a big waste of an opportunity in most cases. But that's going to wrap it up. Like I said, if you know anybody who would benefit from this, please send it off to them. But until the next time, I hope everybody enjoys their holidays, and I'll see you guys in